Welcome to Audrey's world.
Hey, hi, hello. This is Audrey's World, and I'm your host, Audrey Oyer. Audrey's World is a daydreamy sort of place. I want it to be the space where people are creative, they're open-minded, they want to just sit back, put their heads in the clouds, daydream a little bit. But of course, you get to know my guest a little bit before that. You hear about what they're thinking currently, what are some challenges or just some of their day-to-day life activities and such now. I loved this conversation. So Morgan Seaman, welcome to Audrey's World, a full of Taylor Swift, woman empowerment, women in business, sugar rushes, life at the beach, and dolphins, and just girly swirly fun. So if you are into those things, this will be a treat of an episode for you. So let's just lock it and let's just get into it. Cozy on up, get comfortable in your chores, your car, your walk, whatever you're doing, and let's jump right into Morgan's World. How have you been? I'm so excited to talk to you.
I've been good. I can't believe I was thinking this morning, like, oh my gosh, it's been like March 2 years ago was when you moved into your newer position, not so new anymore, and we like really started working together. No, I've been good.
Yeah. And then, so when I talked to Rachel, I was like, oh, Rachel, you've only been gone for like 3 months. And she was like, it's been like 6 or 9. And I was like, oh, oops, sorry. So I was going to say, has it been a year? I don't even know.
It's been a year. It was a year in early March.
Wow. Crazy.
I know.
Crazy. Are you liking it? Like, is it a good change? Is it good?
I love it. It's been so great. I'm
That's
like a new person.
Yeah.
I just needed a different speed.
Yeah. It's fair. Like different work environments, they pluck different things out of you. Or like, I know you said you just have an interview coming up later. You know, it's like how you describe that or how, like what they're looking for and things. I mean, as you know, the employment interview, the culture, all of that means so much. So.
Yes. And it's so funny. I still get nervous when I interview people, which is so strange, I think. I'm like, I'm not the one interviewing for a job, and I leave the interview like sweaty.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why am I sweating? I'm nothing nervous.
Oh, I do too. I have to like hype myself up a little bit before each interview, and it's like, and I think it's more of the pressure maybe of just like wanting to make sure you capture them or like get everything you want out of them, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a conversation that has ultimately the opportunity to have a really big impact on not just the two people talking, but I mean, you just start to think about all the rows and the levels, and it's like, this is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. Do you like interviewing, even though you get nervous? Because that is actually one of my favorite parts of the job. But I think I'm a rare person in that.
I would say it kind of depends. I did it so much when we worked together. Gosh, we interviewed so many people. I think it depends on the role and how directly I'm involved in the role. Like if the stakes are really high for me, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to make the wrong decision. I don't want to,
Yeah.
I love talking to people though. Like my ideal world is I can just talk to people all day with no accountability to follow up.
Now that's where that follow-up, yes.
Like I can just have the conversation. We can learn all about each other. I can remember every interesting thing you ever told me, but you are not expecting an email from me or any additional action items.
Yes, I agree. That is so dreamy. Just people always ask me, what would you like in your dream job? And I'm like, I mean, I really like talking to people. So as long as I can keep doing that, because one of my first jobs, I worked at a CRO. I worked in like site payments and contracts. And Morgan, I would like cry every day going into that job because it was not a fit for me at all. But I just remember like I just want a job with meetings. Like
Yes.
that's I was like I just want to talk to people. So yeah, I like learned very early on that I need to be interacting with people to have any sort of fulfillment in my work.
So true. I can't imagine having a job where I was just heads down, like in data, like being a bench
Mhm.
scientist or something, like literally going into a lab by yourself in like the clean suit
Yeah.
and literally not uttering a word. I talk
No.
to myself when it's too quiet.
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh, that would be like maybe my living hell in some ways.
it would. I think it would for me too. And um it's that camaraderie. I don't know, it's just the human connection, right? It goes
Yeah.
back to like attachment theory, connection, and
Mhm.
the monkey you punch at the zoo in Tokyo. Like he has
Yeah.
his IKEA lovey
Monkey.
because connection
Yeah.
is so important.
Oh, I love him.
I know. I do. One of my coworkers went to Japan and actually got to see him and has like this perfect video of him like coming out and grabbing his little orangutan and dragging it across and like he looks up. I'm like, it is real.
Oh, yeah.
So cute.
That's so cute. I love it. Well, Morgan, I guess I know when we were texting about this, I remembered that you are from LA. And to kind of start with the Audrey's World like dreaminess, that was my dream growing up. I grew up in Ohio. Like I joke surrounded by cornfields because you just had to drive past a cornfield to get to my neighborhood. But there was a time in like middle school and then all of high school where I fantasized about growing up in California, but specifically LA, or I just thought it was the coolest thing. I wanted to go to college there. I wanted to like do all the things. Obviously that didn't happen, but so I had a fantasy in my head about it, but what was it really like, or what was like your world growing up in California?
Well, I'll share that I actually am from Sacramento,
Oh,
but
okay, fair.
went to college. Lived part of your dream. I went to
Okay.
college in LA, and it was it was really fun. Like I'm again from Sacramento. I was a late driver. I didn't
Mhm.
get my license until I think 5 days before I turned 18. So I did not have a car when I first moved to Southern California. And um, when my life really opened up in Southern California was when I took a car to
Yeah.
college in my sophomore year. And it does feel dreamy, like thinking back about that time, like being able to drive to Huntington Beach and just spend the day there, and then turning 21 and having like West Hollywood and being able to go to Saddle Ranch and be like, yeah, we're gonna ride the bull tonight, and who knows who we're gonna meet. Uh,
Yeah.
I think my most LA moment was right after I turned 21. We decided, like, yes, let's drive all the way to Newport Beach and go to Sharky's and Malarky's. And we met these guys, of course, and they were like, well, do you want to, you should come to Coachella with us. We were like, well, okay. My best
Sure.
friend was like, stay in touch with these guys. It's 2 weeks
Yeah.
away. Like, we have to stay in contact. And sure enough, Friday of ACL weekend, we get a call and our friends are like, hey, you guys are still coming. And we're like, what? Scary moment for my mom. I think about
Yeah.
it now.
Fair.
Yeah, my daughter's driving to the JW Marriott to meet these
Yeah.
strangers. But we got there. They were legitimate people. They had all access artist wristbands for us. We were
No
on the
way.
stages. We were behind. We were in the like artist
That's so
RVs.
fun. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and so I think that was like quintessential, like this is LA. And that was in 2003. So we
Yeah.
were wearing jeans and t-shirts to Coachella. It's
I
not
was just
quite.
going to say, but that sounds so much better than whatever version we
Oh,
have now.
I
Like,
know.
whatever version we have now, I joked to someone the other day that it's like Hunger Games, like in a
Yes.
lot of ways, the different camping situations and just the different experiences now that
Yes.
everyone has. And like, I do kind of, well, I really miss the days in general where we weren't comparing and everyone had to have like this designer thing was like the big thing that everyone wanted to have, or that was their aspirations and goals. Like it was just like you could hang out and enjoy and just be at the moment a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Like, walk in
Yeah.
in regular clothes. No
Hmm.
planning. We had done no planning. We were at like a toga party the night before.
Yeah.
So we did not have our outfits planned. We went and it was fine. And it
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
I miss the beach, I would say.
Fair.
But
Fair. And then, so what's like then growing up in Sacramento?
I think at the time it just felt normal going back to visit. I think Sacramento is so beautiful. My sister still lives there, and the proximity to being able to go like to San Francisco
Mm.
for a day. I loved going to Alcatraz. That was my loved Alcatraz.
Yeah. I
The
love it.
weather, like cooling down at night, the being near the Capitol, it was exciting. And I don't think I realized it until I moved out of California, just
Hmm.
how gorgeous it was. I always wanted to see celebrities. I very rarely saw celebrities.
Yeah,
And maybe I saw more. I think everyone's a celebrity. If I see
for
someone,
sure.
I'm like, are they famous? Are they
Hmm.
famous?
Someone has a hat and sunglasses. You're like, who are they?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. We
who's
just
that?
passed someone.
Who's that? But I loved it. It's hard to imagine leaving Austin because we're so rooted here now.
Hmm.
But I would I would live in Sacramento again.
Yeah.
It's so
Well, what
green, so
originally brought
lush.
you out or like moved you to the Austin area or just moved you out of California then?
Good question. My husband and I were living literally at the beach in El Segundo and realized that that's not where we could make the kind of life that we wanted. Like there was a plot of land across from us that they put two houses on, and they were both listed at $1.6 million. Again, this is 2005.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't think this is going to work for us. So we knew we needed to get out of LA if we wanted to start a family and really make a life for ourselves. And he's originally from Austin, and we looked like, okay, do we go to Sacramento? Do we go to Colorado and do something totally new? Or do we go to Austin? And I had been working with a company based in Austin and finally said, okay, if I can get a job with that company, I'll move to Austin.
Hmm.
And I still remember I had this timetable. I presented at a conference and said, okay, I fly home from the conference. I go home on my lunch break. I call the person that I know and I'll just ask, hey, do you think there's anything I could do at this company and just see where it goes? And
Hmm.
sure enough, she said, well, this is really interesting. I never would have expected this call. And ultimately, they created a role that I interviewed for, and I was the training manager
Hmm.
and stayed at that company for 10 years.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
an amazing story. I feel like we forget the value of our connections, and sometimes, like, yeah, maybe you won't get a job out of it, but honestly, I would have never thought to just pick up the phone, call, and be like, hey, let's just have this conversation. I'm open to seeing where it happens. Like, I get if you don't have anything for me, but let's just open that door. I don't think a lot of people, myself included, would do that. So I love that.
Yeah. Connections, when I think about all of the roles that I've had, every single one of them, except my first job out of college, I have known somebody at the organization. And I've been in the clinical research space since 2004.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So the power of connections is huge, which is why we need jobs where we can speak and talk.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Let me know someone here.
Oh, I even remember I like wanted to like ask the girls around me because, this was back in 20 before 2020. So I was in the office and I remember just wanting to like even turn my head in the cubicle little block and just be like, guys, can you help me with this? But I was too afraid to do that because it was so quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop 2 aisles down. And I was just like, I can't be the one who breaks this. It was it was
Oh,
bad. So yes, we need environments where collaboration and talking are promoted.
hear laugh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think when we all went remote after COVID, and like we were on calls with people, not a lot of video calls at the time because no company had the bandwidth on their servers to manage that. Like you just stopped hearing laughter, and that was so depressing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
the lack of knowing each other anymore. I feel like, I mean, where I work now, I feel like we tried to do that, but it's still, I think everyone's very cognizant of we have 30 minutes on the calendar. We can only do like 7 minutes max of this sort of chat. And then we have these agenda items that we must go through today. Yeah, I miss the, I don't know, walking across the cubicle, you can see if someone's really stressed out or hear
yeah,
them laughing, just jump into a conversation. I love your outfit today, or, those sorts of things. While I love working from home in a lot of ways, there are some of those just human pieces that I really miss about or wish there was a better blend in my day to day now.
yeah, yeah. I agree. And you know what's coming when you hear, okay, well, you're like, okay, here come the agenda
Hmm.
items.
Yep.
Chatting is over.
Yep. We're done.
Yeah,
Done. Right in. We're shifting gears now.
going up the hill.
It's so true. Do you work remote fully now or do you go in office at all?
I do. I'm
Yeah.
fully remote, but we get together as a organization 2 times a year minimum, the whole company. So
Oh,
I'm
good.
actually getting ready to travel to Boston for our spring all hands meeting, which is so wonderful again because you get to see the people that you're talking with every day.
Hmm.
And now that I don't manage everybody, it's like the types of connections that I'm able to have has changed. And I think a lot of that is on me. Like I was in a role where I was a peer and then I was a manager, and I put a lot of pressure on myself in terms of, okay, what does this relationship need to look like now? How do I need to keep it professional? What are the boundaries? And reflecting back on that time may have made them a little too strict in order to like kind of fit into like, okay, I was a peer and now I'm not anymore. And so that's something that I'll definitely take with me into future roles where I am managing people, but making sure you keep that connection. And that if you can't with the group of people that you're managing, that you find friends in other departments.
Yeah. Yeah,
So important. Like if for
that's
me, for
true.
my quality of life.
For sure. Well, yeah, and thanks for sharing that too, because it is so interesting. I find myself, I shared this with you. I think I get caught up in my looks, my age. I think people right away when I'm managing them, I have this like, okay, well, you can't ask me about kids because I don't have any. And I feel like it's this obvious point of where I am in life or something like that. So then they're maybe deem me more junior or then not capable of helping them through or helping to navigate any situation. And it is, but at the end of the day, I have no idea if that's what they're actually thinking or not. And it's these assumptions that I'm building and how I want to be portrayed or try to be portrayed.
It's real. We're so good at making ourselves the center of the universe. Like not in a bad narcissistic way, but like you said, like we assume that this is what people are thinking. And then one thing reinforces it and our brains just lock onto it and that becomes the narrative. It was the same for me. I remember I was always the youngest until I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was teaching, I put together a whole training program on coaching and counseling in the workplace. And I had to take all of our leaders through it. And I had that imposter syndrome. Like, who am I to do this? Like, I'm 26. And these leaders have been in the industry for so many more years than me. And somebody called me out on it. They're like, well, why is Morgan doing this? And that really was like a gut check moment. And I had to talk myself up and work with my manager and get to the realization that someone's always going to have more experience than me because I'm never going to be the oldest person on the planet. I
Mhm.
don't see that in my future. I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
I doesn't take away that I have value and that I have knowledge and experience and wisdom to share and a gift for sharing it because that's also
Mhm.
important. Not everybody has the ability to translate their experience into something that will help other people.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And yes, like I'm sure in that moment was extremely hard to like then get the courage like that. To me, I was like, oh, that was such a dagger. I would die. Like that would be so hard to overcome. But you're right. Maybe that's just their stuff coming out or whatever, but you're right. You were chosen to do that for whatever reason. So clearly you have the experience, the knowledge, the gift of being able to articulate it maybe in a certain way that's more digestible for people, or just the gift, like you said, in general of just sharing that experience or capitalizing on it. So yeah, it's always a mental gymnastics battle or of something one way or another.
Giggle.
Yes. I guess I'm curious. So that brings me to kind of my head's going in two different directions with this. But the first question I guess I'll ask is I know a few years ago you, correct me if I'm wrong, started your own company that like consulting for business professionals. So how did that come about and what drove you to do that?
Oh. Another one of those key moments in my life, I remember walking on the track in college with my roommate and best friend. I was a psychology major, and saying, you know what I would love to do? I'd love to be a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, talking myself out of it, making myself the center of the universe and thinking, "Ah, but what will my mentor, my college professor think if I decide to be a life coach instead of pursuing my PhD and being a licensed therapist? Like, what will she think of me?" She was thrilled when
I bet.
when I started my business. So I worked in corporate for about 16 years and just got to a point where I wanted a change. I wanted a big change. And I knew the only way that that big change could happen is if I made it happen. It wasn't going to be just, I'll apply for a new job at a different company. And so I started working with a coach, a business coach and a life coach, and worked through like, am I already doing any of this? Do I have this skill to coach other people? And I decided I did. And so I came up with a business plan and again put together that timeline. The same person that I called about that job was the person that I had to share my resignation with. So it was a
Uh,
really a full circle
full
moment.
circle. Yeah.
Um, and then in the middle of my timeline, COVID came into the world, and I said, I'm still doing this. I have to do this. So
Mm-hmm.
I started my own business. It was called This Empowered Mom. It was a coaching and consulting business where I provided coaching to high-powered women who are struggling with imposter syndrome, confidence, the balance, and that inflection point between motherhood and still wanting to strive in their career. And I loved it. I loved working with women and leaders and people that I could connect with. I did not like the business development aspect of it.
Fair. Yeah.
I didn't really think about how hard would it be to find clients and find them by having to put myself out there all the time. It is so personal to build that like, know, and trust.
Mhm.
And I am not an influencer, it
Yeah.
turns out.
Turns
But if
out.
you look at my Instagram page from that time, like that's what it felt like I had to do. That seemed to
Yeah.
be the way that you would find connections, which is really kind of backwards.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about how many people do you really connect with on Instagram that you trust to be like, yes, I want to share everything about my struggles with you because I believe you can help me, versus yes, I would like that bag.
Yeah, fair. That's so true. It is so hard to like put yourself out there, or it is really hard to be an influencer, it turns out.
You like reaching out to me, you put yourself out there, and I think you have to get comfortable with the no's, but you also have to get comfortable with the yeses, which
Yeah.
in some weird way is even more challenging, because then I can't speak for you or everyone else, but sometimes those yeses become loaded with, "Oh, someone said yes. Am I good enough? Is this going to go okay? Are they going to still be into it? Are they going to hate me? Are they going to like me? Is this dumb?" Like that yes leads to another round of questioning that just can really undermine you.
Yeah. Every single interview beforehand, I'm going through some sort of that, even this morning. But yeah, it's every time I love the feeling that I walk away having this time with this person because I don't know. I love the reward from it. But yes, the text going out to someone, that's always a little tough. And then their response is it could go one of two ways. And then it's like, okay, the interview. Yikes. Let's go.
Yeah, but there is, I mean, I don't know if you experience this, but when we end this call, there's like a high, there's that
Yes.
rush, and it, I think, is that connection and that reminder of like, I am doing what I want
Hmm.
and I do like it. And that little rush keeps you going.
For sure. And I'm guessing that's what you found during your business too, is that little rush after you could sell them the business or make that connection. You had that and could run from there.
Yeah, yeah, I loved that connection, and but like you said, leading up, before every call, even with like with coaching, right? It's really, it's the space for somebody else. It's never my agenda as a coach, and that's what's, I think, different with coaching versus consulting or counseling. Not like counseling with a capital C, but telling someone prescriptively, like, here's what I think you should do.
Hmm.
And I would still get nervous before that time. And I would have to remind myself, like, this is a container, this is a sacred space. Like, there's no agenda here. You can't do anything wrong.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it's
then it would be
that.
fine. It would be great.
Yes. Yes. Giving yourself, like, removing that judgment and letting it be whatever, because no matter how hard that is, then you get to that space where it's innovative or you make that breakthrough or something. Maybe it's just a really great conversation. You learned a piece of that person that you never would have before. It's so interesting, all of that.
Our brains, I tell you.
Or- There's something.
A mystery.
And I guess I'm curious too, with all the people you were working with, it sounded like there were some key themes, maybe consistently of what you were discussing, but was there any key takeaways or coaching techniques, tips, tricks,
Oh
anything like that for those?
gosh. So many. And many that I still apply today in my own life. As someone who was coaching other people, it was very important for me to continue to be working on myself. So I think you asked a few questions. So did themes change? One thing I realized is that I could still be impactful even if I wasn't coaching mom to mom. And while I loved and love working with mothers because it's a shared experience, and it is, can be so challenging, and it throws life on its head.
Yeah.
Um, all all people can have the same types of challenges and struggles with time and balance and work-life integration and enoughness. So that's one thing that came out, is that I could be impactful not only working with other mothers. In terms of tips and tricks, I think one that I use today and encourage my children to use, and I know that they're using as they work with their own counseling professionals is asking yourself what else could be true. Because our brains love a story. They love a beginning, middle, and end. And our amygdala, our lizard brain, is always going to be there to protect us, whether we need it to or not. So we are so good at writing the worst possible outcome. So I have to stop and ask myself, okay, that's one option. What else might be true? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
this person isn't going to be revolted if I come and sit next to them at a lunch and say, hey, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're okay not sitting by themselves. Like, what else might be true in this moment? And just giving ourselves the space to explore that so that we're not always sticking to the worst possible ending and then using confirmation bias to prove it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And how powerful, because your daughters are like middle
Oh my
school
gosh,
or
14 and 11. Yeah. End of middle
wow.
school and end of elementary school.
Oh my gosh. What an important message should be sharing with them or different perspectives. Like, I don't know. If I'm a mother one day and I have a daughter, I know that time of her life, I will be like so protective and just trying to do everything I can because there's so much happening in a teenage girl's mind, or any teenager. But I I love that you're able to share some of those practices and things now because how helpful that will be. Maybe they're, I'm glad to hear that they're doing it because I think if I were that age, I probably would like, just like, what does my mom know? Or like, that's not true. What I'm saying is true. But I love that they have that perspective and can start to try that in their own lives now. Like, how amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, there is definitely the times where they're listening to me and the times where they're cursing under their breath.
Yeah.
There's a lot of door slamming. Not so much in the past few months, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of emotion in a house with three girls, one
Yeah.
dad, and a boy cat.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. But I think that's such a fun time, though. Like, I mean, I can't imagine as a parent, like the different maybe boundaries or hats that you're trying to put on your daughters right now. But I feel like it is just like it's their time of really discovering themselves, maybe in different ways. So have you started to see that?
I'd say that's the biggest reward
Mm,
is seeing them really become their own individual people and seeing that they're not necessarily on parallel tracks anymore. There's a time when as a parent we put them in the same things because it's easier and we have to because we're two people and we can't drive them to five different places. We can do two, but when
hmm.
they're together, oh, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And now they're really starting to explore their own path. So I think an amazing story, especially being in Texas, is that my oldest daughter decided at the end of seventh grade that she wanted to try out for cheerleading. And I thought, well, okay. I did dance and I was a cheerleader in college, but not like a Texas cheerleader.
Hmm.
And so she tried out, she made the team, and that was a huge turning point because in Texas it's so competitive and it seems like if middle school is not an entry point to try to like make a new team. It's like
Hmm.
you come in as an expert. You've been playing football since you were five. And she
Crazy.
made that team. And I was like, wow,
Wow.
okay, this is opening up a new world. And then she decided to try out for the high school team
Hmm.
and she made the team. And
Wow.
never in a million years did I picture myself as the mom of a high school cheerleader in Texas. Like that still blows my mind. It blows my mind that my kids are Texans. I'm like, no, no, you're
Yeah.
Californians.
Yeah.
They're not. So I think like seeing that evolve and just seeing how bold and courageous she
Hmm.
is the greatest gift. And her mantra is do it anyway.
Oh.
And I, I admire her resilience and it reminds me that the growth mindset is real. Our
Hmm.
brains are not done evolving. We are never done learning and trying new things. And that's just so beautiful to be a part of that journey.
I bet. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And yeah, I think maybe all sports now, maybe not all sports, but like it can be so competitive in those little
Yes.
pockets that you find yourself in. So to break into that is huge. And I can't imagine how much of a big celebration that was for all of you on seeing her, yeah, bravery come out and just her resilience and how magical that has to be for all of you.
It's wonderful. Even that she tried. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
point in time when she said, the only reason I'm doing this is because you're making me. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I am not making you, but you did
Mhm.
commit to this, and the tryout is tomorrow. So I would like
Yeah.
you to at least consider going. Uh,
hmm
and then hearing the feedback from her that she was really glad she did it on that second day of tryouts. And even if she didn't make it, which would be sad, she really had a fun time. And she knew
hmm
that she could at least put herself out there in a group of new people. So there were lessons learned all along the way. Of course, the ending is better for her because she did make it, but I think putting yourself out there even when there's the chance that you might not make it is still such a huge step.
Yeah. I'm trying to think in adult life. I feel like there are very few opportunities consistently for us to try new things, but to then be in the same room where you can see your competition. That is, I feel like maybe I discount how intimidating those tryouts and things are because what I'm not doing anything like that in my life right now. Like, I don't see that. So, wow, that is very powerful.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about it that way. We don't, our opportunities kind of drink. For
Yeah.
me, like making new friends, trying new things, you really, as an adult, have to seek those opportunities out.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do. When we're growing up and we're kids, it's like, okay, well, there's this opportunity to try this, or there's this camp coming up, or my mom mentioned this, my dad mentioned this, like, whatever. And then, yeah, as we're an adult, I think we just find through those things, we find our lane, we find our things that we're good at. And then, like, usually that's just where we stay, which makes sense. But yeah, then there are fewer opportunities to try different things or I don't know, just put yourself out there in different ways. It's hard as an adult. I guess I'm curious. You mentioned making friends as an adult. Moving from California to Texas, you said that you had your husband's family there, but how did you make friends during that time?
Any way I could.
Yeah.
So I still remember, yeah, about you're asking me about such like sweet pivotal moments that I'm able to pull out of my brain. So
I'm glad
story
it's
time
happening
again.
that way.
Um, I was so desperate for connection, and I was getting ready for this job interview that I had manifested, and I was at Macy's at the Domain in Austin buying shoes for my interview. And the woman who was helping me looked to be about my age. And so I shared, like, oh, I just moved here. I don't know anyone yet. How long have you been here? And she's like, I just moved here. And we started talking and had all these things in common. She had lived in California. She was from Ohio, actually.
Oh my
She's a
gosh.
Buckeye, through and through. And so we just had this conversation at Macy's. And then at the very end, like I was asking someone out on a date. I was like, so, like, do you think you'd ever like maybe want to get coffee or something?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be great. And so then, like you said, those moments, right, when you're reaching out, like texting the stranger that I met at Macy's and
hmm
being like, hey, it's me. You helped me. And we talked about maybe getting coffee. Like, do you still actually want to do that?
Yeah.
She did. We met for coffee. Remember, it was early pumpkin spice latte season.
Oh,
Oh,
love
I know.
that.
Still 90 degrees in Austin. And we forged this great friendship and then merged this friend group. Like Augie, my husband and I were suddenly like invited into this world of all these UT engineering students. So we were
Oh
like
my
the
God.
old people. hanging out with all these UT engineering students and their significant others who had moved to Austin to be with them as part of this program. And our world of friends just kind of exploded from there. And it really came down to that one awkward conversation in Macy's where I felt the need for connection and took a risk and it
Mhm.
paid off. Might
I
not
love
always
it.
that way, but
Yeah. Well, it's so true. You never know where that next connection could be. It's always like just so obscure. You would never plan to maybe to meet a friend at Macy's, but look what happened and what an incredible story.
yeah, I have another good friend who I call my internet friend, who we had kind of like seen each other in the same like kind of social media
Hmm.
settings, and we both had our colors done. I don't know if you have talked to anybody about color analysis, but woof, that's a whole nother conversation. And I had shared a story about a miscarriage that I had and how now in Texas, the treatment that I was offered would not be available. And it really resonated with her. And she reached out to me and she shared that with me. And she said, like, would you ever want to like get lunch? And I was like, oh, sure, sounds fun. And then I
Hmm.
remember the drive to meeting her for lunch. I told Augie, it's like, I'm going to meet my internet friend. Please call me if I am not home at this time.
Yeah.
It feels safe, but it's my internet friend.
Yeah.
And now we have forged a great friendship. We've gone to concerts together, we check in with each other. So again, just those really unexpected moments where you have to trust your gut enough and be smart enough to say, like, do I feel safe doing this? Yes. Why
Hmm.
not? Like, what do I have to lose? A couple
Yeah.
hours?
Right.
But what do I
Right.
have to gain?
Hmm.
So much more.
And either way, it's a story. Like, oh my God, guys, one time I
Right.
drove to meet this girl from the internet and it sucked, but like, oh my God, how crazy was that? Like,
So we saw Hanson and it was great.
yeah. Yeah, either way, but that's amazing. And I'm sorry to hear about the miscarriage, but I love that like
Oh,
a vulnerable moment like that could bring people together. And I think it is just a good reminder that sometimes that really scary thing, maybe to talk about or that hard moment, one, you're often not the only one experiencing that, even though it feels like it, or who has experienced that, and what connection that can form, or like what a sweet spot to maybe find some comfort or just someone else in that time.
yeah. Yeah. And again, another turning point for me that really I think shaped a lot and just in the ability to share experiences like that and not feel shame about it because in this environment, I think we've created so many opportunities to load shame on women for experiencing very natural, physiological, biological changes and uh,
Yeah.
experiences. Like,
Hmm.
uh,
Actually, my first version of this podcast was specific to women's health because I
oh,
was like having so many problems. I think it was 6 years. I was going to different doctors, trying to do different things to figure it out. Honestly, the podcast was kind of born because I was so frustrated. Um, but yeah, it's wild and crazy. All these natural, especially female physiological processes. I mean, I'm sure you know all the statistics just as well as I do, but I just saw something the other day. There's more studies on male pattern baldness than there are on endometriosis.
yeah,
Like, it's crazy.
it's bonkers and bananas. It doesn't make any sense. And that,
No.
still last women's health soapbox that the answer for like a young woman who's struggling from really intense periods, that the answer is still, well, we could put them on birth control.
Hmm.
No, not an acceptable answer. I know now what orthotricycline did to me.
Hmm.
I wouldn't
Hmm.
recommend that for a 14 or 15-year-old. We've got to have better answers. The research needs to be there.
For sure.
I'm glad we know food dye isn't the best thing to put in our bodies, but I really didn't need a lot of people to tell me that. I kind of get to
Yeah.
that on my own.
Yeah, fair. And
Lemon
I
salad.
love the red food dye. Give me more,
Dude,
please.
I
I
have
love
a
my red
box
gummy
of
candy.
I have a box of Red Hots over there. They are all red 40. I am eating those up.
Oh my gosh, I haven't had one of those in so long. I forgot about
Oh
them.
my gosh. I found them in the grocery store in like the movie theater candy box. I'm like, first of
Mhm.
all, who's buying these for a movie? But I'll
Yeah,
buy them.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
red Skittles and all the red.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay, do you have like a favorite sweet treat? So I guess, do you have a sweet tooth? And then what are some of your favorite sweet treats?
I do have a sweet tooth and I love gummy candy, the
Yeah.
worst for my teeth.
Yep.
Gummy bears, gummy worms, peach rings.
Mm-hmm.
And even the sad thing is, even if I realize I don't really like the candy, I will still eat it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Um,
Have you? So I'm in the last year, I started loving gummy candy. My favorite, I love all the Trader Joe's ones.
oh,
Because I don't really love gummy bears or gummy worms because they're not super chewy. So I found all the Trader Joe's ones. So maybe recommending that for you to try if you haven't. But have you heard of Swedish gummy candy? Not like Swedish fish, but like the Swedish gummy candy.
are those the wine gums?
They're called like bubs and things. I can send you some links
Ooh,
after this, but they
do.
are my favorite. They're my favorite gummy candy. They're all kind of a little sour, so if you don't like sour, maybe you
Ooh,
wouldn't enjoy it. But yes, we'll send you some links of ones that you can try or
yes,
that I
please.
recommend because they're so
Oh,
good.
here for the bubs.
Yeah, here for the bubs exclusively.
I also like Peeps, which I know is very polarizing. Um,
hmm
there was a time where I could eat so many Peeps that you'd kind of start feeling them build up. And you'd be like, okay, I think I have like a whole colony here. I better stop.
That's amazing. Do you love like marshmallows? Do you find yourself eating marshmallows a lot?
I do. I love
Yeah.
marshmallows.
Yeah. I think I would like Peeps more. I don't really love marshmallows.
Mm. And Peeps are very marshmallow forward.
Yeah.
Marshmallow and pure sugar, which are
hmm
just right in my wheelhouse. I used to eat sugar packets at church.
Yeah.
My sister and I, in between services, would go to the coffee cart, get the sugar packets, get a stirring straw, and just suck that sugar down.
Oh, I would do that too. I would do something very similar. Yeah. My aunt growing up, she would have sugar cubes for teas,
Oh,
and I would put like 18 in there just because I was like, I don't care about tea, but I just want these sugar cubes.
yes. Sugar cubes are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta find some. I haven't seen a sugar cube in decades.
I haven't either. And the feeling of just seeing how long it will take for one to dissolve on your tongue.
hmm
Okay,
The rush.
the rush. Again, we're all about the rush. The rush of connection, the rush of
Yep.
a sugar cube, the rush of a bub.
We love them all. And for you, maybe the rush of Taylor Swift. So I know you are a huge Swiftie. Can you tell me how that originated?
I can later in life. Uh,
Yeah.
I became a Swiftie with the 1989 album.
Mm,
Again, have
great
this,
album.
love it. 1989 is, I think, peak. And I remember being in a hotel room. I was on a work trip for an investigator meeting, and the album just came out. And I was listening to it on my phone, nervous about how much internet I was using because it was
Mhm.
before, I don't know, unlimited internet plans on my phone. And
Yeah,
just getting ready in my hotel room for my dinner and be like, oh my gosh, out of the Woods, yes, every song is so good. So that was
that's
really big
amazing.
when I became a Swiftie. And then the first album, when I actually went and bought a CD, was Reputation. And again,
Mm,
have the rush of getting back to my office and putting it in my tower, CPU tower computer and listening to it that way.
hmm
And then it was all over from there. Like I didn't know at that time like that you could follow celebrities on social media. So that
Yeah.
all this existed, all this lore, I
hmm
had no idea, really.
Yeah.
Um,
And I used to, yeah, I'm thinking back to a time where Like, why do we like I don't care about any of that, but now, oh, have things changed? But
Oh,
what
yes.
a fun, oh, just the picking up of like going to the store, picking up a CD, coming back and being able to listen to it. I did that. Oh my gosh. So I like Taylor Swift, but I would not define myself as a Swiftie. But whatever album came out in like probably 2012, I can remember at lunch in high school, we had open lunch so we could get in our cars and drive as long as we could like be back. So my friend and I drove to Walmart. We got the CDs for each of us and we were playing it in her car during, and we were like, oh, what's this song? Oh, we can't wait to go back. Like school's over so we can listen to the rest of the album. Like, what a rush that was.
Yeah, such a rush. And you would listen to the album like beginning to end. Like there'd be some skipping,
Hmm.
like, okay, here are the first 10 seconds. What's next? What's next? But I would learn songs essentially by what was the first few like chords of the next song. So,
Hmm.
like I still sometimes hear songs that way from listening to albums all the way through. Like, oh, I know this song because this is the ending of the song that came before it.
Hmm. It plays after this and it's right before this in the
Yeah.
lineup. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I love
amazing.
it.
And I assume your girls are major Swifties now too.
Yes, they are. I
Yes,
may
they
have kind of forced it upon them just because I was. Uh, my older one probably a little more so than my younger one, who is more into like somber and
Yeah.
she's a little more emo. But then you throw Benson Boone in there and that just brings the tempo right back up.
Hmm.
Um, but we did go to the Eras tour, and that
Amazing.
is on my life list of like wedding, kids, Eras tour. I don't know
Amazing.
what will move up. Maybe when my kids graduate, I don't know, that'll move up. But
Hmm.
it was such a rush, and people would say, "Oh, that's so great that you did that for your girls." And I was like, let's be honest. I did this for me. And
Hmm.
the fact that there were more tickets available and we could do it as a family is a bonus for everybody else. But this was really for me.
Yeah. I love it. But I love that either way, you were doing that for you because what an experience. I know so many people who, if they went to one concert, yeah, it was everything, but then they were like, I don't care. I got to see it again. Like that was amazing. Such the thrill. And I mean, the artistry, I think, that came out of that, and then just seeing her sheer like endurance. Again, I was not there, but I can't imagine. And then the added economic like benefits for wherever she was touring, like it's insane that one person could do all of that.
Yeah. Love or hate her music, I can't understand why somebody would have such a strong disdain for who she is as a person and a business mastermind and
Yeah.
a generous soul. I mean, I don't know. It was a rush, and like you said, the artistry, the economic impact, and the safety
Mhm.
that we felt in that arena of what 60,000 people. I've never been in a kinder place. Like,
Wow.
oh, I love your outfit. I love your outfit. Oh, you need to go to the bathroom? Do you want to get in front of me? I know you've got your kids with you. I mean, the hype of everybody in that space just being kind and generous and exchanging friendship bracelets and complimenting one another and making space for everyone's experience. I don't know if I'll experience that again in my lifetime.
Wow. That's incredible. How amazing. It
Yeah.
seems like a dream. So I
Oh,
guess that leads
it
me right
was.
into my next question. This is
Ooh.
Audrey's world. I love for this part of it. Like we got to know Morgan, your life, but there's a dreamy side. I think we all daydream to some degree, but I'm so curious. What's your relationship like to daydreaming? What does that look like for you?
Oh, I love daydreaming, and I've proven to myself that sometimes I can and do make those dreams a reality.
Amazing.
Um, I think it's something I have to almost give myself time and permission to do because daydreaming has like a little bit of a negative connotation, right? Like, oh, she's got her head in the clouds, or oh, she's just daydreaming over there. But like,
Mhm.
have that space to be imaginative and to wonder what's possible is so critical. So I love daydreaming. I dream that someday I'll be living at a beach with
Mhm.
like floor to ceiling windows, being able to see the water, talking to people with no accountability, of course,
Yeah.
no action items unless I choose to make the action
Mhm.
items. Looking for dolphins. Like I could spend all day watching the ocean and looking for dolphins.
Amazing.
I grew
Oh,
up in a time where you really believed that killer whales and dolphins could become your best friends and that you could have
hmm
a sentient relationship with them. And someday, maybe, I'll have a little best friend out there who I recognize.
That would be, now that's very dreamy. I
That's
love that.
very
I
dreamy.
love that. Did you ever grow up wanting to be a marine biologist? I feel like there's like a time
Oh,
where a bunch of girls wanted to be a marine biologist.
oh, for sure. For like
Yeah.
Free Willy was my jam. We
hmm
would go to Marine World. I know, bad. Wouldn't do it now.
hmm
And watch all the whale shows. My sister and I would put on our own shows in our
Yeah.
pool, where one of us
Mhm.
would be the trainer and the
Yep.
other would be the orca, if you will. And we would narrate those shows with music. Yes, I wanted
Mhm.
to be in the water with those creatures, and they truly are amazing. Like the awe of seeing a dolphin in the wild and just thinking like I'm in the ocean and there could be a pod of dolphins anywhere. Where are they? It's
hmm
still a rush for me.
Sea life is like so cool. And then there's the added just maybe vacation factor
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. Everyone's maybe in a different mindset. It's you're in the water, you're by the beach. I feel like everything is just more chill, relaxed, and everyone's a little happier in those circumstances. So, yes, what a perfect dream world.
Yeah, that's my dream world. I
I love, I love it. But you're right. I do feel like maybe I'm trying to put something there that's not, but women in particular maybe do get criticized a little bit more for having elaborate dreams or daydreaming, but I love to still do that, obviously. And I think it gives us a lot of hope. And it's like fun to hear what other people are dreaming of. And maybe do your dreams collide? Like, oh my God, how cool. What a fun thing to find out. Or maybe it's because where people are in their life, their daydreams just look so different than someone else. And I think it's very unique to hear about.
Mm. Yeah, I love that question because it allowed me to dream even more, to even think about like, oh, what do I love? What do I want?
hmm Yeah, a form of manifesting that maybe I'm just getting everyone to manifest a little bit more.
I think so, Audrey. I mean, if after this someone calls me and asks me to come work with a dolphin
Yeah.
and take that high rise at the beach, floor to ceiling windows, I'm taking you with me and I'm giving you a piece of that.
I was just going to say, at least let me stay there for a few days and we'll call
100%.
it we'll call it good. I love it. Well, unfortunately, we're not there right now. And sometimes that can be a little harsh. Even though it is dreamy, it's fun to think about. That's not the reality, unfortunately. So, do you have a small win that you recently had that you were like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that this happened? Or I don't know, anything like that to maybe pat yourself on the back?
Uh, yes, I started going back to my 6 a.m. bar class,
Whoa.
and it's been 2 weeks. I used to go all the time and then fell out of it, schedules changed, and went back and love it. The instructor is fabulous. She's super intense, but always has a great playlist. She'll be like, today's a hip hop class, today's a pop class. And I would count that as a win. Like I'm
Yeah.
already up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my win. Going back to 6 a.m. bar at least once a week.
Huge win. I love that. It does the instructor, I feel like makes all the difference of you wanting
Yes.
to get out of the house and go into a workout class.
Yeah. And for me, it's got to be a group workout because I don't know why I don't feel dumb doing bar in a class, but
Mhm.
at home doing that alone, following a video, I can't.
No,
I can't
I
do it.
love a group workout class.
I need the accountability and the connection. Like
Hmm.
as we talked about making friends as an adult, that's another place where I've made friends is at the bar studio. Be seeing
Hmm.
people there every single time. You have kind of your spots, and then you form those connections and take advantage of them when you can.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you're up already at that time? You're an early bird, morning person?
Oh yeah, I'm an early
Yeah.
bird. I'm up at 5:30, and it comes from a get like a self-protection place. Like that's my time. Am I function better when I am up and can get ready by myself instead of having to have the worlds collide where everybody in my house is trying to get ready and I'm getting a lunch here, a water bottle here, a question here. That's my me time.
Hmm. I also am a morning person. I do not understand night owls. I can't stay up past like 10 on my own. I was always the first one up at sleepovers, waiting
Yes.
hours for my friends to wake up. And
Yes.
yeah, I feel like I was bred just to be a morning person. I always have been, always will.
Same. I am right there with you.
But I agree, when I can give myself some time to wake up, do my own little like routines before I have to log on to a meeting or do whatever. And it's not that like go, 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 rush, 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 like being on other people's time and not feeling like I have some time for myself. So I love that a morning bar class can also get you into that. That's amazing. And
It
a big,
can.
big win. Big congrats.
Thank you.
I will let you get to your day, Morgan, but thank you so much for taking time
Oh,
to talk with me. It was so good to see you again.
yes, you too. And thank you for helping me relive some of those just super joyful, quintessential moments, which
Oh my
I
God.
think will evolve into even more dreams.
And that was Morgan's world. Chef's kiss. Absolutely love it. I love that I could probe her to daydream a little bit more or to maybe expand what she was dreaming of. I think that is fantastic. And I loved that feedback. So thank you, Morgan. And if it wasn't highlighted before, Morgan was actually my boss for a little bit and one of the best bosses, managers, leaders I could have ever had. And now I'm like, why didn't we talk about this in the episode? But I think I was just going a million miles a minute and thinking about other things. But thank you, Morgan, for being that for me. It has meant a lot. And I've caught myself actually trying, maybe emulating the environment you set for our one on ones and just kind of the person who you were during that. So thank you. I think that says a lot about you and your great work. But I think it's really cool to hear Morgan's way of navigating working, being a mom, and being her authentic self in all of those different roles that she carries. I think it's a testament to her and is something we could all maybe strive to do. The conversation today was so insightful, so incredible, and I loved being able to catch up with you like this. So, thank you to Morgan and thank you to all of the listeners and watchers supporting today. I really appreciate it. If you would like to support even more, that would be amazing. You can like, rate, review, subscribe, or follow wherever you listen or watch, which would be on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. So I'm available across all of those different platforms. And you can also catch me on social media. Yes, on Instagram at underscore Audrey's World, ODDREY, and on TikTok at Audrey's World, ODDREY. And that's the episode for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again next Tuesday. Love ya. Bye.